Hey guys, I pray you guys are all having a wonderful day today. I have been in the Word this morning and just have been thinking a lot lately about faith. And it's just, it's a word that we drop all the time. It's a word that we, especially as believers, that we all say that we have. And we even believe that we have. We, really think that we fully, truly trust the Lord until that time when that faith that we claim to have is tested. And it's necessary for it to be tested, because how can it be strengthened if we could just go about saying, oh, I've got faith, and nothing ever happens to us just to really see if we've really got that faith. So that's what I'm coming to realize and understand as I get deeper in my relationship with Jesus and really understanding, do I truly have the faith that I am professing to my Father to have? And so I know that that's something that I'm going through right now. And, when we come before the Lord in prayer and we come to Him and we are completely sincere. We are so sincere when we speak to Him. And you could mean every word that comes out of your mouth when you're talking to Him. But does that really mean that you fully trust Him? And it reminds me of the Centurion and the faith that the Centurion had in Jesus, and how he said to him, you can just say the word. I know that what you say, it will be done. It will be done. And even though we say that, we believe that too, do we really fully, truly believe that what we ask of the Lord, with it being His will, with it being something that we're seeking, that we that will edify our walk with Him, help us grow spiritually, do we really believe it will be done unto us? And so I'm just gonna read to you in the book of Matthew about the centurion. It starts in it's Matthew chapter 8, verse 5. And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus saith unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, Go, and he goeth, and to another, Come, and he cometh, and to my servant, Do this, and he doeth it. When Jesus heard it, he marveled, and said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in all of Israel. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And Jesus said unto the centurion, Go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so it be done unto thee. And his servant was healed in the selfsame hour. I am always thinking, I believe in the Lord. I believe that what he says, I do. And then you come up with times where you are really being tested. You know, our faith is it's like a muscle, and it needs to be strengthened constantly. If it's not being strengthened, if we're not being tested on a regular basis, that muscle's going to become weak. Our faith is going to be weak. You know, I think of the centurion was saying, look, I've been practicing this faith thing, okay? I know, I have trust that what I say will be done. And so, Lord, I trust in you. I don't even need to see you do it with my own eyes. You just say the word right here and right now, and I believe that it will be done. And I realize that there is so much power in that, in really, truly believing in the Lord and believing that He will heal us. And I think it's just, faith is something that, you know, having that childlike faith that we are called to have, having that trust in Him, you know, the way when we are children and we look at our parents and everything that they say, we hang on to their every word. We believe everything that they say. And that pleases our Father for us to have that for Him. Because He will come through. He will. But your faith needs to constantly be strengthened. Needs to constantly be strengthened. I just I'm so encouraged by the centurion's story. And you know, and Jesus saying, first of all, the centurion, he was a Roman soldier. He was not a Jew. He was not a child of the kingdom. And we see examples of that everywhere throughout the New Testament. You know, even the lady that came to Jesus and asked, you know, please help my daughter, and she's possessed by a demonic spirit, and Jesus saying, you know, it's not right to give food, to give the children's bread, to cast it onto dogs. A lot of people hear that verse and they think, wow, what the heck was Jesus's problem? Was he like in a bad mood with that lady? Like, did she rub him the wrong way? Why would he say that to her? Well, first of all, she was a Gentile, okay? And Jesus first came for the Jews, and he came for the Jews first to prove a point. It was all God's perfect plan, because God knew that his own children were going to reject his son. And Jesus, I know, he knew this lady's faith. And, you know, her response to him was, you're right, Lord, you're right. But even so, the dogs can eat the scraps that fall from the table. He had that first initial response to her because he knew He knew already what she was going to say. And I think he made an example of her to everybody else. Belief is so strong, and it's something that pleases our Father so much when we put that full trust in him. And I just, for Jesus to say to the centurion, your people are going to come as far as from the east and the west and sit down and dine with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom. But the children of the kingdom are going to be cast out into outer darkness where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. And I think about that too. And knowing how that was God's perfect plan the whole time, for his own people to not believe. Their hearts were waxed gross. They were hardened. Their eyes became blind. Their ears became deaf. And it was all, I just believe it was all to prove that point. And thinking, even Lucifer, before he fell, was God's child. He was his perfect creation that he had made. He was his child. And his pride got in the way. And his heart became waxed gross. It was hardened to the Lord. And he was cast out. And so I think that's the whole point of even the Jewish people not accepting their Messiah, in the same way that Lucifer, God's own child, rejected him. And it's heartbreaking to even think about that. It's just heartbreaking. But at the same time, it makes me sad, but it also, to just see all of God's children, to know what's going to happen one day. But I know it sounds silly, but it makes me happy too to think about it, because he is such a just God. He is so just. And there's just joy in his justice too. So even though it's sad to think about the whole story of where this all started, how this all started, you guys, is sad. It's sad. But the victory that's already been won, there is so much joy in it. So I'm going off on my little tangent there, like I always do. Because I'm trying to talk about faith. But yeah, our faith is just, you got to rejoice in all of these trials. You got to constantly rejoice and praise him. And he's doing a mighty work on me. That's for sure. That's for sure. I'm getting beat hard by the enemy. Hard, you guys. I don't think you understand. I am really, really getting the crap knocked out of me by the enemy. But it is strengthening me. It is strengthening my faith so much. And the Lord knows my little hidester, she takes a little more time than most people. I got to work with her a little differently. I praise him so much for his patience with me in dealing with all of this spiritual warfare, guys. It just makes me run to him. It makes me stretch my arms out to him as far as I can. I just want to be in his arms. I run to him for shelter. I run to him for protection. And that pleases him. That pleases him. And you know what? It then pleases me. So the spiritual warfare, the trials that we go through and all the testing that takes place, it is all for our good. It is all for our good. That's not just a verse that's just decided to just be plopped there in the Bible. There's so much meaning in it. All things work together for our good, to those who love him, to those who are the called according to his purpose, his perfect purpose. So just wanted to talk to you guys about that and just where I'm at, and just the faith that is just being strengthened constantly. He is so good. He is so good. And I know he hasn't forsaken me. There are times, you guys, where I even start to feel angry. He is right there. Those are the times I feel the closest to him. When I'm feeling far from him. It's just so weird. I can't explain it, and I am not articulate at all. But, okay, I'm gonna go because I'm always this basket case, but I love you guys. And, I just wanted to give you that encouraging word today about faith. Having that faith like the Centurion. Really fully believing in him and believing what he says will be done. So I love you guys, and I pray that you're having a blessed day. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Take care.